angel dust powder nose candy. Toot, toot. Got a bump? I'm sorry, it's obvious. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Poser.
If there's one thing I know about humans, it's this. We like to stick things up our noses. Marbles, fingers.
Don't pick your nose.
Some people get great pleasure mining for gold up there.
Noses were picked, pants fell down.
See this? You probably can't, it's a long way away. That better? How many of these do you think you could stick up your nose cave? Could you do 6? How many do you think you could do? Admittedly, this is a big match. Not your typical household match. These work in the rain. Storm matches. Because I am the kind of person that needs matches that light in the rain because I go on adventures. Adventure. You know, overlanding. Except I tend to, I glam for land. Now, you might be wondering why I asked about the nose thing and how many of these guys you could stick up your, in here. I don't bring it up without reason.
One reason.
A 39-year-old Danish gentleman by the name of Peter von Tangenbuskov. Peter von Tangenbuskov. Pronunciation apologies as per normal, blah, 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 disclaimer. Well, he's gone and done it. The thing that nobody asked for. They said it couldn't be done. No one had tried before. And yet he proved them wrong.
He did it! He fucking did it!
I mean, no one knew it was possible because no one had ever thought of doing it before, I guess. But Peter, he went and stuffed a fistful of matches, unlit, up his nose, setting the world, not on fire, which is what you would expect with a match, setting the world record for the human who has managed to stuff the most matches up his nose. Oh, Janine, how many did he shove up his nose? I'm glad you asked. Hey, editor, insert general drum rollery here.
No.
That feisty Dane shoved
68 matches up his nose.
I'm assuming even distribution. Still, that's a lot. Now, your first question might be, why?
Son's done.
That's a good first question, but I think we should just skip right over examining anything about Peter and his motivations for shoving matchsticks up his nose to get a record that nobody's ever gone for before. The real question should be, Janine, what did this act inspire you to write about this week? Well, this week's post is a mouthful of a title, but that is preferable to a nose full of splinters. I think we'd all agree. It was called Singular Humanity, Approved Modifications to Accommodate a Better Life. Like I said, a mouthful, but better than it was. Simply put, a guide on how to expand your heart, mind, and soul to become a better human.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, the manatees. The key word here is expand. Because that Danish guy that broke the record for the most number of matches up his nose, guess what? He's not going to stop there. He has plans to train his nostrils to accommodate more matches, more than 68. And now you are permitted to ask why. I'm still not going to answer though. He explains why on the Guinness page, so link below. Too long, didn't read. I thought if he can train his nostrils to accommodate more matches, then surely me as a human, I can train my heart,
Master!
my mind, and my soul to accommodate more too. More love, more compassion, more understanding of others and oneself. Something like that. You know, I'm a philosopher in training, so... Rising up! A big heart, an open mind, and a soul that can bench press a life, basically. That's the gist. And that's what the post was about. I recommend you go read it, or I can read it to you. The link's below also. Disclaimer. I am not a doctor, though I play one on other people. Oh, that sounds bad.
I'm cancelling.
I don't do that. So let's talk Guinness records and the Matchstick Man and the training guide for being a better human. Le heart, le mind, and le soul. There's really not much to talk about with the Matchstick Man as to his motivations or anything, but in the course of reading and learning about his, wicked goal, I started looking at what you have to do to prove to the Guinness people that you have in fact set a record. Basically, you just need documented proof that you have done it, and
A witness.
I'm sure there was a huge line of people wanting to see him shove 68 matches up his nose.
Get in line!
The grand finale of that should be you shove them up there and then you light them. You'd probably need a fire extinguisher on hand for that in case things go wrong, and yeah, you wouldn't want to shove a lit one of these up your nose. Maybe don't light them. Now, speaking of Guinness records, 2 of the organs that I mention as areas to train to become a better human actually have records in the Guinness World Records. Is it a book anymore? Do they still put the book out? I don't know. But they have records. The heart and the brain. You know what creature holds the record for the largest heart? The blue whale. Here is a picture of the trophy winner. He dead. This is what a blue whale's heart sounds like. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There she goes. That heartbeat was recorded just down the road from me in Monterey Bay. How cool. And when they're deep, very slow heartbeat, when they come up to the surface for a looky-loo, their heartbeat increases rapidly to 37 beats per minute. Cool. The more you know. Now, Janine, now that we know that the blue whale has the largest heart, the empathy must be overwhelming. You might be asking, how do I train my heart to be bigger and able to accommodate more love, all the mores?
Just being disarming, darling.
Yes, even Roger Moore. What sort of exercises can I do? I do a lot of cardio. Where you really need to focus is poetry. The heart must become, in itself, a poem. What does that mean? I don't know. I just write this shit. You must become a poet. And of course, this is where I add in the word metaphorically. Although if you want to become an actual poet, the world needs more poets, believe me. There's no money in it.
Give me some money.
Unless you're a songwriter. Not a lot of money in that either, really. The heart can be trained to see the beauty in things. The heart can sit in nature and understand the poetry of the world. The heart can be made bigger by socialising with loved ones in the poetry of communion, whatever that means. And strangers. The heart can immerse itself in the poetry of others in the form of songs and art and literature. All that good shit. The songs, the sounds, the tones of life.
Poetry in motion.
Poetry. Become a poem. I urge you. Read the guide for more. Sidebar. The blue whale heart is impressive, but if you're Australian and of a certain generation, like me, Gen X, the animal with the biggest heart that you learned about in high school was Phar-Lap, the racehorse. Yes, Phar-Lap was a horse and also a dog, an underdog. He was, by all accounts, ugly.
Well, you don't buy horses just for their looks.
At the beginning, which was why nobody really wanted to buy him.
He's not any other horse. He's a freak.
So many people made a huge mistake by not doing that because Phar-Lap, and I quote, won 37 races from 51 starts, including the 1930 Melbourne Cup. His death in 1932 prompted an outpouring of anger and grief. But we don't need to talk about his palmares. Let's talk about his heart. Phar-Lap had a giant heart.
His heart will get him to the line.
That's not hyperbole. I've seen it. It's in the National Museum of Australia on display. It's gigantic. It was 1.5 times bigger than a regular thoroughbred racehorse's heart and weighed a whopping 6.35 kilograms. It's big. There's a saying in Australia, you got a heart as big as Phar-Lap's, which either means you're very generous or courageous. So brave. I don't know if Australians still say that. Maybe Phar-Lap's fallen out of favour. There's a lot of in that. Phar-Lap died in America, up north, in San Francisco. The Americans killed him because he was too good. That's the conspiracy.
I wanted to hurt a champion like Phar-Lap.
Arsenic, they say. But maybe it was his big heart. Okay, let's stop talking about Phar Lap. Australians, sports nuts. Let's just leave it at that. That's hearts. The second thing you want to train is your mind. How do you open your mind to become a better human? Does opening the aperture of your mind too wide turn you into a woke snowflake? Fuck that. Flake on, I say. Open that mind. Be more accepting. No closed minds here. No doors shut. Open. It's no accident that I mentioned aperture. Gotta open it wide. Let the light in. Exposure. That's the main thing. Expose yourself to different points of view, cultures, cuisines, all that shit. I equated it to pie, P-I, but also pie, P-I-E. The pie state, P-I state, which I defined as infinite enlightenment, is brought about by trying all the pies. The many different kinds of pies that are available
Pecan pie.
on the table of life.
1 banana cream pie.
So many flavours.
Cherry pie.
Yes, I am obsessed with pie.
This pie is the best pie.
Sticking fingers in, eating, trying. Don't like that pie?
This pie is garbage.
Maybe that pie's not for you. Shut your pie hole. Let the person who that pie is for enjoy the pie.
I love pie.
Try all the pies.
Have some more pie.
That's the summary, the TLDR. Now, things can weigh heavy on the mind, and we'll get into that in a minute, but we were talking about Guinness World Records. Just to let you know that the heaviest human brain on record comes in at a whopping 2,850 grams, or 6 pounds, 4.5 ounces. It was weighed in 1899 in the Netherlands. Europe. The average weight of a human brain is roughly 1,350 grams, meaning this person's brain was twice the regular size. I didn't go for biggest brain here because, again, it's a whale. It's a sperm whale. Enough about whales. They're getting all the flowers.
Sperm whale, the legend.
But speaking about weight, let's talk about the hotly debated topic of how much does a soul weigh?
Just let your soul, baby.
Personally, imho, I don't think the soul weighs anything. There, I said it. The soul is too ethereal to have anything that can be measured upon some kind of physical scale. The soul is conceptual, 21 grams. The 21 grams experiment was conducted in 1907, and this dude tried to prove that at the moment of death, you lose 21 grams, and that is the soul leaving the body.
That sounds very made up.
Let me just read this to you. The paper was entitled Hypothesis Concerning Soul Substance, together with experimental evidence of the existence of such substance. The doctor, Dr. Duncan McDougall, placed 6 dying patients on a specially constructed balance and concluded that at the moment of death there was a loss in weight of about 3/4 of an ounce, or 21 grams. Believe it, don't believe it? I don't believe it. I think it's been pretty heavily debunked, whatever. Like I said, the soul has no weight. The soul is capable of bearing weight, which is what you've got to train it to accommodate. More weight. Or more balanced weight, in particular. Every day is leg day for the soul.
With your legs, not with your back.
The soul lifts heavy so that it can remain light. So saith Janine in the thing she wrote. Life is a weight bar, right? And there's plates on either end. The happy plates, the sad plates, the joy, the depression. Sometimes there's more plates on one end than the other. So you got to work out how to balance your soul bar so that you can lift more easily. If it gets a bit heavy on one end, the depression end, my best advice is to get a spotter. Always have a spotter. People you can talk to, blah, blah, blah. I would like to end with a quote from the piece. We'll come full circle back to the matches up nose guy. Quote, just as the nostril can expand to accommodate the matchstick, so too the heart, mind, and soul can expand to accommodate humanity. Word. End quote. And that was said by a monk on a mountain. Probably. That's about it. Heart, mind, soul. Go read it. It's an exercise plan for expanding all of those things, all of those elements of your life. Like I said, I'm no doctor, but I have doctored nothing. I'm literally not a doctor in any sense. Lots of cool exercises you can do, like pie eating contests, curiosity crunches, and consciousness wriggles, which sound fun to do. Should do those. How often? Ongoing. It says ongoing. Perception planks, depression presses. Ooh. Ooh. Cultural squats. Sit right in the middle of it. These are actual exercises I made up, but you should do them, especially the pie one. If you do too much of the pie one, you might have to do like actual exercises. But you should be doing that anyway. But above all, I'm going to close by saying, let's all strive to be better humans, to enhance our humanity by training it to be more accommodating, to fit more in our lives. The individual's humanity contributes to the overall humanity. Make sure it's contributing in a positive way. Peace, love, and understanding.
Come on, hippies.
Yada, yada. See you out there.